Welcome to The Movement, the podcast where we explore the heartbeat of the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Join us as we dive into conversations with community leaders, volunteers, members, and associates who have been part of the Y's impact. Discover the inspiring stories of the past and exciting plans for the future as we celebrate how the Y continues to empower lives across our community. Get ready to be inspired in The Movement with the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Hello, YMCA family. Welcome to The Movement. And as 2025 emerges and we start to celebrate our 165th year of service in Kansas City, we are taking the movement on the road, where positive community impact is being made every day in our family centers, our program sites, and our playing fields. And today we are proud to be at the Cleaver Family YMCA on Troost Avenue. Troost Avenue in Kansas City, Missouri was historically been a racial dividing line in the city as early developers in the 1930s instituted racial deed restrictions and prohibited African Americans and other minority groups from owning or occupying land. Coupled with the Federal Housing Administration's refusal to insure mortgages in black neighborhoods, the creation of white-only subdivisions emerged. So Troost really became a dividing line in Kansas City, with more white residents living west of Troost and more black residents living to the east. And after the Supreme Court outlawed segregation in public schools in 1954, things began to change, but at a very slow pace. The YMCA of Greater Kansas City had a place called the Southtown Y at Meyer Boulevard and Warnell Road in the 1950s to help bridge the gap and create a stronger community. The Southtown Y was where Jim Kirk and his three boys, Phil, Frank, and Mike, helped support the YMCA's youth programs and through their iconic YMCA Christmas tree sale fundraisers in the 1950s. In the late 1980s, the Southtown Y was serving the Brookside and Waldo communities, but not reaching those in the east side of Troost. So the Y board made a decision. They said, we're going to find a new location somewhere along Troost and take a stand against history and the segregation and help divide a gap between east and west and that dividing line. The Y purchased property in the 1990s, and by 2006, the creation opened where we sit today, the Cleaver Family YMCA right here at 70th and Troost. And my role at the time as the Y was business development, project development, which allowed me to have a front row seat to the construction and development of this signature and impactful community center right here in the heart of Kansas City, named after the Reverend, the Mayor, and the Congressman Emanuel Cleaver and his family. It's been the Y's attempt to remove some barriers, blend community, and create an inclusive and supportive environment to those all around. So our guest today, I'm so excited. This is a wonderful example of how Cleaver Family YMCA comes together and can provide support to so many levels to everything that we do in this community. So pleased to welcome to the podcast Cleaver member and turned associate JuVonda Whitney, and Monique McDaniel, who we call Mo. So I'm just going to go with Mo. There's a lot of M's in there. I'm just going with Mo. A Cleaver healthy living coach, personal trainer. And so welcome to the movement. This is the first time we've been on the road, ladies. Are you excited to this inaugural experience?
Yes, very.
So I'm going to say, I know JuVonda's story, and it's deeply moving, and it really does embody the YMCA focus areas of youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, and packages the story. It's transformational, it's hopeful, and it's how the Y changes lives. And I'm inspired that you're here today. So thank you for taking your time, and thank you, Mo, for your time as well.
Sure.
So I'm going to start with this. Let's start with JuVonda. So tell me about your first experience with the YMCA. When did you join? What brought you here? What made you say, Cleaver's the place I want to be?
Well, being a mother, and I know I had children, so I wanted to be in a place where you can be comfortable with your kids and have fun. Also, good thing about it is daycare, and you're able to not just work on self-care, but also kids can work out if they're old enough and participate, and also be in daycare if need to be for while you're working out as a mom.
Yeah. And so, Mo, when did you first meet JuVonda?
Oh, man. I feel like I've known her my whole life. But I met JuVonda about probably 2 years ago. And the first thing, Mark, that just stood out was how intentional she was with her workouts. Like the intention in her face, like she would come through the door with the intention of, I'm going to get some work done. And then seeing her grandson with her, I was just like, oh, wow, she's got a little one with her. And so that just immediately, just seeing how intentional she was on the floor, she had her headphones on. And then that made me kind of approach. Because anytime I can sing intensity like that, I want to know what's the story behind it.
Yeah.
Like, you are here for a workout. Like, no one has to come up to you and say, oh, why are you here today? Or what can I help you with? I mean, she just seemed very focused.
Yeah. And Javonda, you came in the early days of Cleaver, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
would
in the
say,
early days.
Yeah, as soon as they built, I heard about them building this Y. It was right down the street from us. And I didn't have any more excuses then. I was like, me and the kids, we can walk down the street to the Y. And I was very excited. So I've kind of been in the Y since like 2004, 6, like soon as it was 2006.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been here a minute.
I'm not going to count, but that sounds like about 18 years.
Wow.
So when you walk through the doors, what struck you about the atmosphere or the experience in 2006? We'll move down the calendar a little bit as things move forward, but those early days, what kept you? I mean, probably I'm joking about 18 years, but
Yeah.
I mean, you've been here for 18 years. What's kept you here
Right.
from that initial moment that inspired you to stay this long?
I tell you, back in 2006, I was heavy. I was 380 pounds, and I felt like I was at home because it was very comfortable to walk in and not feel like everybody's watching me. And like some of the other gyms, you feel like everyone's staring at you, and you really can't be comfortable. Almost felt like the Y has always been like family, and people were nice, and they treated you nice. And even, sometimes the kids could be acting up. They'll work with you. And it was like being a part of a family. And so that for me I was very comfortable.
And Mo, so as you hear that, you see people come through the front doors here at Cleaver every day, and there's that apprehension, and how do you make somebody feel comfortable when they come through the doors here?
Well, we immediately get to know them by their name. And this is my neighborhood. I was raised in this neighborhood. My grandma's house is 2 blocks away. So immediately, I think I just try to greet with a hospitality of, this is my home, and I would like you to feel at home like I feel at home. So I think the immediate good morning, good afternoon, good evening, when they hit those doors, and then using an open-ended question to get to know their name.
Yeah.
I think that goes a long way.
And so did you feel community? It's what I'm hearing when you came
Total
in?
community. Everybody just love you, deal with you, know who you are. Especially being a mom, like I said, my sons will come up here and play basketball, and they're like, well, Jordan was here today and he did this and he'll do that. And so it was like almost like the community is overwhelming with love.
And then so after you felt that, what were the early programs? Did you take programs? Did you try to do stuff on your own? Did you have a personal trainer? Did you just like get online and try to figure it out
when
yourself?
When you first join the Y, you get like some free trainers to come in when you first join in. So that kind of motivated me a little bit, especially being, like I said, the size I was then. Sometimes you can lose encouragement, not being able to know what you're doing on your own. But that was a great encouragement there. And, you had a lot of classes to offer. Yoga, I love the yoga classes, Zumba. There were several things that I did. And plus, and the swim classes.
Swim class.
Mm-hmm.
And did you have some goals set for yourself?
You always set a goal for yourself, but sometimes we talk more than what we do. I always wanted to do some things, but then, sometimes you just didn't get to those goals. But I always said I wanted to lose that weight and focus on being healthier and stronger.
Yeah. So you made some decisions in life, right? You decided I'm gonna join the Y. Goals. I'll start working through that and figure out how I'm going to transpire. And we're talking 2006, and here it turns 2010, and you're still here. And then you mentioned Jordan. Tell me a little bit about Jordan.
Well, Jordan's was my firstborn son. He really did everything at the Y. I mean, I think everybody pretty much knew who Jordan was, and they embraced him, loved him. He was the kind of person that worked out. He would come in the gym, play in the gym. He would leave there, go out and be on the bike. Then he'll go swim. And like I said, the community, the Y, they knew who he was, and they loved him, and he loved coming to the Y to, instead of being out there on the streets and doing things that they're not supposed to do. The Y is a good place for the youth to be in, to keep them focused on positive things for their future in life.
Yeah. And so it's 2011, 2012. World starts spinning a little bit for you at that time, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Care to share a little bit more about that?
It starts to get a little crazy. I would say about around 2018, my mom, she passed, and 5 months later, Jordan was murdered, and his son was to be born. So right before, right after he was buried, Nicholas was born. And during that time, I was married, and my husband was battling cancer. So a year after Jordan was murdered, my husband, he passed away of cancer. So in the midst of all of that, Nicholas was here, and I had to really focus on my health and being here for him. Because my mom, she passed. The diabetes is what did it for her. And that for me was a big deal. So I knew I had to make a change and really focus on some goals and focusing on getting healthier and actually focusing on working out more.
Wow. I can imagine what it takes to get up every day and say, after that, those significant events in your life.
Yeah.
That you felt like you had the motivation initially, or did it come, did it take a minute?
It did, because when I think of motivation on a daily, we don't have it. It's days where you just want to give up and you don't want to do anything. So I learned, especially becoming a group fitness instructor, that it's not about motivation, it's about discipline. And as long as you get here, you can do something. It may not be 100%, but it'll be something. Just getting out that bed, putting on clothes, and pulling up to the place where you know you will have some love and some support, and just getting here.
It sounds like the experience of just getting here and running into Mo with her energy and her passion, and again, it's not just Mo, it's everybody, right? It's not just the staff, it's the atmosphere, it's the other members. Well, how do you build relationships and create that trust like that with members and your colleagues
Yeah.
here? That's such a unique thing about the Y, the relationships and that trust that when you get there, somebody's got you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it starts with self, and it starts with being vulnerable yourself. I was placed in a great position to help mentor students who went to Rockhurst College, and they had to do their internship here. And so Billy was kind enough to say, "Hey, Mo, can you help steer this to get, these new college grads up to speed?" Because Rockhurst had set up a program that they had to do at least minimum 20 hours at a center, And so bringing in new grads just made me rethink my role in the sense of not only, tapping into our core values of the Y, but tapping into being a mentor and really positioning the Y in a position that young people wanted to come here and would like to be a part of the community. So just starting with myself and saying, this is my commitment to the Y, and this is how I want to pour into associates and soon to be associates and give them the full picture of, I am going to say, how different we are from just any gym. I can't even describe the Y as a gym because we're just not, Mark. I just feel like And we're more than just a community center, you know, because of the diversity of staff, diversity of our consumer, diversity of our Y member. I mean, it just goes beyond, you know, that you can just put in a descriptor, oh, the Y is a gym, the Y is a community center. No, the Y is like family. And I feel like when people can see us be vulnerable and say, this is why we're here, they lean in a little closer to say, okay, I want some of that too. So why not stay?
So in the midst of all this tragedy, here comes Nicholas,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your grandson and maybe just share a little bit about raising Nicholas and how the Y has supported his growth through programs. And, you know, I know he's taken swim lessons,
Yeah.
those types of things.
And that's another thing about the Y. We were blessed to get some help with the Y to pay for the swim lessons, which I'm just like, thank you. All I could say is thank you. And it just helps with families like me. I mean, I went from a 2-income house to, you know, just me. And they have to where you can get apply for help, and Nicholas swim lessons was paid for. So, and then, like I said, the daycare here, we make excuses all the time, but with our kids, but just having that time for the daytime and then the evening for that daycare helps a whole lot. So then that way you're able to come in and drop your kids off and feel good about it. Cause I know Nicholas is not the perfect child. So believe me, there's been days when she's walked out and said, Nicholas is, but we're going to keep, we're going to keep him in here while you're out here on the, in the gym. But
It's
I'm
just
thankful.
boys being boys.
I'm thankful for the Y and the daycare and being able to work on self-care.
Yeah. What other programs does Nicholas participate in?
There was also a football program that we signed up for here. And it was for 5-year-olds, and it was fun. It was fun. We met up at Lee Summit Park, and we had practice out there and games.
Probably Chiefs flag football program they do, which is a fantastic
which
program.
is good for the kids, and socializing and teaching them how to get along with people, and everybody's a winner. I know that. No one's a loser. You're all a winner. So that for, a lot of kids, no one likes to lose, but everyone's a winner when you're playing with the sports at the YMCA for the Chiefs. So it was great.
How do you see programs like that shaping the future of kids like Nicholas and all kids and the youth that we're serving?
I would simply say that Nicholas, of course, he doesn't have a father, and it is a good program because there are a lot of dads that are involved with their kids, and they just kind of bring Nicholas on in with them, and just kind of, I'm gonna say, like, they're a great example for him to look at as a father figure for support, and because he doesn't have that father to be in the stands and cheering him on, but those dads, they step up and help me out a whole lot. They're like, Nicholas, come back here. Your grandma's calling you. And they just kind of all jumped on in and knew what was going on and just stepped up. A lot of people just step up when they're in programs like that, which I think is good because they need that type of support for the future, for them to know that you may not have that, at home, but when you get out there, there is support. And there are people who care, genuinely care, and will support you in things that you want to do that's positive.
You're all in. You're all in with this Y. I love it. It's fantastic. So every time I come into this Y, it's usually early. We're here early. This is my Y. I work out at this Y.
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
It's a whole new vibe at that early in the morning.
Yeah, it's a vibe. But you're so energetic, and you've got your folks out here stretching and doing their yoga and doing their thing. We've talked about the youth programs, Nicholas, we've talked about Jordan and all the things that he did here. I mean, what makes this Y so unique with all the other happenings that happen at Cleaver?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Tell me a little bit of other things that you're engaged in, because it's all hands on deck here. Everybody's involved. It's not just you being a personal trainer.
No.
What else happens?
No, we are all hands on deck. And I feel like, Mark, we try to say we are a one-stop shop to service everybody. So we made a conscious effort to have a group exercise schedule that really fits every need. And so when you see me early in the morning, we have a class just for active recovery after you've worked out. So basically, we set up a class for those athletes and non-athletes when you've worked really hard, strenuous. Hey, it's time to rest and recover. And what better time to do that but 6 a.m. So our classes start at 5:30 here. And we have quite the following that early in the morning. And to me, that's a benefit for the consumer, for the Y member, that they can look at our schedule and go, wow, look at all the choices that I have here. So at least 4 days a week, early risers can come in and know that they have safe instructional programming that will fit just every need, And then the Y does a good job of hiring trainers and group exercise that we have a variety of our background. So literally every 10 to 15 people that are in front of me, and I'm going to speak for the whole team, we can look at our crowd, and say, yeah, we're here for foam roll, for stretching, but I also see right shoulders kind of elevated. Let's pay attention and do some extra stretching, on that. So you're not going to find that anywhere else. I mean, I'm really proud, to speak that and to say that's why I'm here. That's why I'm staying on the team. To look at that schedule and go, wow, we've got yoga, we've got foam rolling, we've got TRX suspension training, and now TRX suspension training for the 65 plus. I think we're the only place in town that does that for the active older adult to learn how to, use their body weight to strengthen.
So, Javonda, tell me how this relationship came together. I mean,
Go ahead.
It's kind of funny, but I tell you, Mo is the bomb. I just love her. You know how you're just regular people just coming in, and you're not really, people don't know your story. People don't know what you've been through. So they're looking at you like, wow, she's over there really getting it in, like, I wonder what's her story. So Mo just approached me one day, and it was kind of like, she's nice. I like her. And she's just kind of like,
she's not bashful, is she?
She's not at all.
Not shy.
And that's what I loved about it. Because I think sometimes people can be intimidated and not want to be bothered. But I love talking to people and expressing. But Mo really, she encouraged me so much. I don't think she really knows how much she encouraged me. She seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. And she really brought out the purpose in me. And I'm just so thankful. Like I said, it's like family. It's like, I've been knowing her forever, but it's like, who's this lady? And I'm like, I love her. And she just motivated me to get my group's fitness certificate. And she would take time out and meet me places and show me different things. And she's so selfless. She really is. I mean, people may not know that, but she is. And I love her for that. She takes time to see something in you that you can't see yourself. And she's a pusher. She pushes.
It's fabulous. I look at this journey that you've been on, Javonda, and it is so inspiring. I mean, walking through a door, 2006, I'll just say a little bit aimless, right? Coming in, I'm going to do something. And then these major events of tragedy in your life, and then keep pushing yourself forward, inspiring yourself to get up every day, running into Mo, finding that inspiration. And then all of a sudden, doing what you do, and you look fabulous.
Thank you.
I mean, how personal you want to get in your weight loss journey, but it's unbelievable. And now you're so inspired. When did the decision come that, hey, I want to do what Mo does?
Yeah. I have to tell you, it was Mo kicking it in for me. She was bringing out this instructor in me that I didn't know was there. And I would say it's just like the pain into purpose. And she pushed me, and it was days I would actually walk in here and like try to dodge her.
Yeah.
I would literally try to dodge her because I'm like, here she is, and she's going to ask me, what chapter are you on? So you can get your certificate and get your butt in here. And I'm just like, I'm only on chapter 4. But
I'm surprised she didn't take you back and stick you in the office and sit you down and say, read.
she's a pusher, but then she's kind of like, hey, do your thing. You know, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna work through this, but I know you have it in you. And for me, I love her for that. It's like, we're gonna have a relationship forever. You're stuck with me. You're stuck with me forever. And that encouraged me to really come out and want to inspire others to do the same.
Yeah. And you're working with 65-year-old plus. Tell me about that.
I am. So,
I mean, I think you have your own cheerleading squad back here.
He does.
And
He
you've got your
does.
faithful back here.
So it's funny how that happened. I don't know why I'm like shy. I'm kind of shy, but then I'm not. And Mo knows that. She's like, girl, you got this. And I'm like, no, I don't, Mo. I don't know what to do. She's like, yes, you do. And then once I got in and you're seeing these people look at you and they're not knowing what you've been through and all the energy that I bring to the class. And it's like, I love her. And she's just so inspiring. And I just turn all of that pain into purpose and look at these people like, I got to be there for them. I got to show them that it's not over. Even though you're 65 and up, you still got it going on.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
you can
remarkable.
still work out.
Cleaver's service, because we've got infants, right? All the way up to Mrs. Bird.
Oh, yeah.
And, Nita's here today, and
Right.
one of her nieces, and she's 105. We celebrated her birthday last year. So I mean, we're working with this grand scale of humankind, right? In all sorts of healthy living, youth development, social responsibility, all those aspects. And I can see where the motivation comes. You're motivated. You want to turn that around and inspire others. Do you have a really? I mean, Mo's got this inspiring story of JuVonda, and this Cleaver Y has this inspiring story. Who have you ran into that you've seen that on the other side? Do you have a person or a story that has really grabbed your heart? Like, yes, that reminds me of me, and they've pulled themselves through the fire and they're shining today.
I see people come in the gym, and I know sometimes people don't want to be bothered or whatever, but I'm that one person that I like to give you a high five. I may not know you, but I'm kind of warming up to you. And I see people come in here and work their butt off, and I just want to give them a high five. Or I'm that person that'll get next to you on the bikes and we're racing. We're literally racing because I want to keep up with you, because I know that this is inspiring for me. I don't know if you've been watching me, but I've been watching you too. So I can't really say I have a specific name, but I have faces that I know in this gym that have been dedicated, and they actually come in and work hard, and they inspire me, especially Mrs. Hermstein.
Oh yeah.
She inspires me so much. When I watch her on the treadmill, she's like almost 100 years old. And I watch her on the treadmill. She's like, baby, I got to get my mile in for today. And I'm like, a mile? And she's on that treadmill. And I got to get on here with her because.
First of all, I'm here on Friday mornings, and she's walking, and she's blind.
Yeah.
She's walking in, she's working her way down. She gets on that treadmill. She does her mile.
Yeah.
And, everybody kind of stops and watches. Like,
I do. I'm like,
it's just
stuck. I'm like
it
watching.
It is. We had a chance to talk to her a little bit earlier today. So motivating. So I think about all these, the YMCA mission, and you guys are living this YMCA mission every day.
Yeah.
How does the YMCA mission match or resonate with your personal values?
Wow. All the core values resonate with me, the care, respect, responsibility, all of that. And knowing I've made a choice to coach, mentor young women and men like JuVonda means a lot of the foundation, what the Y stands for. I mean, Mark, I wouldn't be able to do it with I mean, thank you for giving me that compliment of being selfless. I wouldn't be able to do that with being authentic and genuine if the why hadn't set up that foundation. I just know it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been able to do it, you know? And so thank you for allowing me to come in your space and see what I saw. You know, I really lean a lot and say the YMCA. I mean, I think I've celebrated 7 years just being here with Cleaver, right? And when you have to look at someone's track record of 7 years staying with a nonprofit gym with 38 years experience, you have to go, what is your why? Well, let me tell you my why. Javonda's at the top of my list. You know, the classes, ooh, really? The active older adult classes that I teach, I see my grandma in the faces of all those women. You know, my grandma transitioned in 2012, and that's when I did a deep dive and said, I'm missing my grandma. What's the best way to memorialize the value she has in my life? That means go deeper in all my certifications and make active older adults my market, my niche, you know, of training. So when I approached JuVonda and talked to her about that, I was very clear that more active older adults needed to see women like JuVonda. I wasn't coming in saying, hey, JuVonda, the market of 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, you know, because I feel here at the Y, our older community motivates in more ways than they will ever know. Like I'm seeing the young teenagers come in here and do a double take on Miss Hermazine, you know, or like when we have the big classes in here and they have to do the Cupid Shuffle, or they have to do, I see the young people, you know, stop and, you know, and seeing a couple of 30, 40-year-olds doing it out there, you know, and then of course I'm the one behind them going, you can go in there, you could do it with them. You don't see that anywhere else. I mean, where can you go that you can see Saturday mornings, we have a boot camp class. There is a young boy, he is 4 or 5 years old with his parents. He's in the boot camp class. There's 30 people on Saturday. We have a 5-year-old in there. His mom and his dad on either side. If they're doing burpees, that 5-year-old is doing it too. I mean, there's too many stories, you know, to say, but it's that the value, the pillars of wellness here, that as an instructor, as a mentor, as a group exercise, I get up every morning filled with that, going, I have to do my best this morning, 5:30 in the morning or 5:30 at night. That's what leads me.
So Nicholas is 5?
He's 5.
5 now, right? And thriving.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. He's thriving. I hear he's thriving back there.
You hear him now, don't you?
In Kid Zone. So how do you, at some point, this story comes out, you know, 5 kids get it, you know, I mean, they get it at 4 sometimes, you know, but there's going to be a time and a place about his grandmother's story, right? And what do you hope that message is to him when he's able to realize this journey that you've been on, how you have taken care of him, set him on a great path?
I think kids are pretty smart nowadays. They catch on pretty quick. My thing with Nicholas, I've never hid anything from him. I keep it real. And that's the thing about the Y. It's like everybody here is like real. You know, there's no just real. You just get a sense of realness here. And with Nicholas, I just want to be upfront with him as far as the working out. He sees me come in here and he wants to work out. He's like, we working out today? Can we go in the gym? Can I go over there? And he's motivated. He's excited to do it because he sees me as his grandmother showing an example for him.
Mo, Cleaver has, it's a wonderful community treasure. And I shouldn't be biased towards a Y, but this is my Y.
It is
right?
your Y.
It is my Y. You know, all the Ys are my Y because I try them, but this is where I spend most of my Y time. And it is a community treasure. You know, tell me a little bit about some other signature events or programs that happen here throughout the year at Cleaver that are unique.
Wow.
I mean, just, you know.
We have a bunch. So I'll start with the aquatics department. So every summer we have free swim lessons. And it escapes me right now, the name of that program. But for so many weeks, youth can come in from age 5 to 18, and we have swim lessons. And Mark, to me, when that's happening in the summers and we see the kids, you know, come off the buses and they're lining up, and Beth is waiting for them, high-fiving them in. That's just huge.
It's our partnership
That's
with
just
Operation
huge.
Breakthrough.
Operation Breakthrough, yes. And that's just huge. So that was one. And then I love that every month we do a potluck for our seniors, and we'll have different vendors that will come in. More times than none, they're insurance companies or senior wellness advocacy groups that they will be a vendor partner. And we have game day for the seniors. So the seniors, once a month, we do this potluck. They get their games out. Like, there's a couple of card games I'd never even heard of before. And the seniors are like, Mo, sit on down. We're going to, teach you this card game. So those are two that really stick out, that, the aquatics, being able to offer free swim lessons, making sure the community, that's just huge. Knowing that our kids can swim, and then putting emphasis on our active older adults. That once a month, we do a big socialization, where after the workout, they're breaking bread and then, playing games.
Yeah. I think volunteerism is such a strong component of the Cleaver Y and the community that we serve right here on Troost. And, those times in the month, we've got people help distribute food. We get to our MLK Day, in next year, and do that on an annual basis. And you got 400 volunteers in here doing service projects for the community. So I think that's, again, mission, purpose, vision for the Y. You're both, you've come from community person all the way up to associate and,
I know.
Group X instructor.
Group exercise instructor.
But just maybe tell me 2 words from each one of you that what's the team culture here with the YMCA staff? 2 words. I'm going to limit it to 2.
Gosh. Javonda, you go first.
Realness and love.
Okay.
Being real people, and all of the love that you have here from me.
I'm going to just say motivating and inspiring.
Okay. Javonda, what advice would you give to other parents, grandparents that have trying to balance these personal challenges and raising children? It's so inspiring to see all the things, again, that have come into your life and you've taken them straight on. So what would you, do you have some inspiring words for parents and grandparents?
I would say it's not over. It's not over. It's just the beginning. You have to stay encouraged and be willing to adapt to new things. And for me, I'm thankful for everything I've been through. It is, I would say, challenging, but at the same time, if I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. And for me, being a grandmother of a 5-year-old, I must stay in shape to keep up with him. There's no way I could have been 380 pounds running around, needing this energy to keep up with this kid, because at almost 50, it's a different ball game. So be inspired, and self-care is very important. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you definitely can't take care of the kids.
Yeah, that's true. So I always end with a final 4. And so each are going to get a chance to answer these 4 questions. They're 1-word answers, or you can take it as long as you want. But I always do a final 4. So Mo, you get to go first.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
I
Javonda?
have a cat, so
I do. You admit it.
I do.
I have a cat. I'm just not sure I want a cat.
I do have a cat.
All right, Javonda. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I know. That's a hard one.
Wow.
Mo?
To be invisible. Why did she give me that look?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be invisible.
I would say to fly.
Love it. All right, Here we go. Okay, back to you, Mo. What's a movie you can watch over and over and over?
Oh, that's easy. Life is Beautiful. I love that movie.
For me, it would be Toy Story.
Oh,
I love that movie.
I love Toy Story
oh my
too.
God, it makes me cry
Yeah,
every time.
I love Toy Story.
Javonda, if you could meet one historical person, who would it be?
Oh, wow. I would say Sojourner Truth.
Wow, that's a good one. I'm going to say the poet Maya Angelou.
Fabulous. That's great. And that, my YMCA friends and family, is JuVonda Whitney, a mom, grandmother, and a hero to so many, especially to her grandson, Nicholas, and Mo McDaniel, healthy living coach extraordinaire.
Oh, thank you.
And so much
Thank you.
more. Thank you for both being on this first roadshow of the movement. Just a reminder that the Y can help you with your goals. Y is a place where goals are achieved,
That's right.
friendships are built, and lives are truly changed, as we have witnessed today. If you're ready to make a change in 2025, January is your chance for a fresh start with a free month at the Y. Transform your life and become a member today. Stay motivated, stay connected, and keep moving forward with us in the movement. Together, we're building a stronger community, one story at a time. Thanks for spending time with us on the movement. Visit kansascitymymca.org for more information. And be sure to follow the YMCA of Greater Kansas City on social media for the latest updates.